Hello, 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 and welcome to the Street Wolves flip through. I'm so excited that this day has finally come, and I'm so excited to share this amazing setting with you. It's so neat, it's full of so much flavor, it's so beautiful, it's a joy to look at, and it's even more fun to play. Congrats on joining the Street Wolves, Tuba Swan. Fun little interactable. I've got my Street Wolves mug. I've got my fanny pack on. I've got my Street Wolves shirt. And, it looks great. So let's take a look at Street Wolves. So Street Wolves is a retro future synthwave setting. It is not cyberpunk, but it is beautiful, and I think it's a bit reminiscent of cyberpunk, but not necessarily. It's not fighting corpos, which is what you usually do in a cyberpunk setting. It is also compatible with Savage Worlds. In order to play, you do need the Savage Worlds Adventure Edition book. You can get the digital edition usually for $10 on DriveThruRPG. And it has some things you need to build characters and such, as well as knowing how to play. I meant to grab my dice. I don't know if I'll need them, but I meant to grab them. My bad. But you do need the base game to play, but otherwise, Street Wolves is completely compatible with that. And this document is 157 pages. It doesn't have a spread mode, but I have it up in like a 2-page spread just for easeability on the screen, so it's a little bit easier to look at. It does look a little bit different than this if you just look at it separately. So I don't think there's any spreads, but the pages that you see on the right are actually on the left, if that makes sense. But in order to have the 2 pages up, I had to set that. So here's all the credits. Lots of good folks in here, all very cool people. We have a great table of contents. Actually, behold the art. It's so good. The art on the cover is wonderful, and cover art, Curtis Square Briggs, like just amazing stuff. But anyway, so the table of contents is robust. It gives a great overview of what's included in the game. So this is the bookmarks, and you can see everything is linked. You can minimize stuff, make it larger. That's really nice. I think that's so great for usability that the bookmarks are working. Because as great as a clickable table of contents is when you work in larger works like this, or when I do at least, it's nice to be able to go to the bookmarks and go to exactly where I need to go. I don't always want to have to go back to the table of contents. So, alrighty, so what is inside of this? Well, we have an introduction, which we'll be taking a look at in a minute. We've got a player's guide, which is also available as a separate download, so you can just ship that off to your players if you plan on running the game, which is so great. I wish more things did that. I know Alien does it. I don't know of a lot of other RPGs that do that. Obviously, D&D, they have separate books, but this one, you purchase the one book, and it comes with the player's guide and the GM's guide, and the player's guide is a separate download. That's so great. Love it was pulled out. We've got gear, which we'll go through. Vehicles, Vapor, not sure what that is, but we'll take a look. And then we have Living in the New Age, and I believe that talks about the setting a little bit. We've got some setting rules that are specific compared to the base Savage World stuff. Then we have some optional rules, which I can't wait to take a look at. The chase rules, allies and adversaries, game mastering, and then Melt With You, I believe, is an included adventure. So lots of good stuff. Quick overview of what is on the site for this. Street Wolves is a synthwave infused retro future setting. The setting is inspired by synthwave aesthetics like 80s TV shows like Miami Vice and neo-noir movies like Drive, and it features a dash of retro futuristic tech. Players take the roles of Street Wolves operatives that work outside the system as investigators and problem solvers. They fight numerous foes in the shadows, such as a sinister conspiracy, a powerful cult, corporate goons, Soviet spies, drug traffickers, while facing their own inner demons. Synthwave is baked into the system through the emphasis on heroes and the edge fighting against forces under the surface. There's also a mysterious phenomenon named Vapor, which causes cities to have unusual colors at night, and it even gives the unlucky Vapor poisons unusual powers. It's a blessing and a curse. So that's what the Vapor is. So if that doesn't make you excited, I don't know what'll make you excited. Seems pretty cool to me. The art in this is fantastic. Tabletop Games, or PV, did the layout and brought in someone to do the art, but otherwise, Tabletop Games did the writing and the layout, and it looks great. One of the things I love about this text is that these are clickable. These little side pages here. This is technically the right side page, but because I have it up in 2-page spread, it's in the middle. But so if you were looking at it single page, all of these pages. But one of the things that's nice is as you're browsing, you have a quick clickable access to things. You don't even have to open the bookmarks because there's stuff here. So let's take a look at the introduction. It begins. It's 1987, and we're within spitting distance of a new millennium. That brings hope for a lot of people. Communication, medicine, everything is advanced at a rapid pace. Some think that world peace is just over the horizon and inevitable, even thanks to scientific progress. I doubt it. With the USA and Soviets waging their Cold War, we're a hair's width away from nuclear Armageddon. And that's just what people know about, the other dangers that you've stumbled on. That's why you're listening to me yammer on now. So here it is. The Network of Shadows has infiltrated the American way. They're waging their own sort of Cold War, and insurgency is in the shadows. They're getting away with it because they have a bunch of politicians and the law in their pockets. And if it isn't bad enough, these cults, deadly drug cartels, and corporations like Exxonscape and their insatiable greed ruthlessly destroy their enemies while enriching themselves. Wow, totally bogus, as you kids say, right? It's all gloom and doom. There's us. We're fighting in the shadows. We're the street wolves. We're not afraid to get our hands dirty fighting on the front lines to save humanity from itself. Street wolves help those who can't help themselves. We fight a thankless war against powers that will otherwise grow unchecked. Put your shades on, get in the car, and pop in a cassette. It's time to hit the streets. So what do you need to play? As I mentioned, this is a setting for Savage Worlds Adventure Edition, so you will need that base book to get the most out of this setting supplement. You also need a Game Master. This isn't a GM-less game, as well as a set of polyhedral dice, so all the way up to D20. Playing cards, which are, as well, that include the Jokers, because you use those for initiative, and possibly a few other things. It's one of my favorite things about Savage Worlds, is how initiative is run. And then characters. There are rules to make characters in this book. Plus, there are some quick archetypes you can see on page 29. And also, you can find some more in the Street Wolves Jumpstart or Street Wolves Archetypes Volume 1. And we'll be looking at Street Wolves Volume 1. Street Wolves Jumpstart you can actually get for free. I have bubbles above my head because I played Bubbles in the Golden Hand, which is a Street Wolves actual play that you can find on YouTube. And it was so much fun, and you can get Bubbles by, I believe, subscribing to Tabletop Games email list, I think. Anyway, she was super fun to play, and you can find a link to that playthrough on the itch page, So here we go. So it starts out with the player's guide. So when you're creating a character in Savage Worlds, you get skills and you get hindrances. So what we have here are some items that are extra as you build a character. So additional skills that you can add to those that are already in the Savage Worlds handbook, as well as some that look like they've been changed up to fit the setting better. And then we also have a note here that says that some of the skills within the Savage World book are not usable in this setting. But let's take a look at some of the new skills. So animal handling, which we'll use as smarts. The skill needed to properly control animal. Bonuses and penalties are based on how much the animal trusts its handler and how complicated the command is relative to how smart and or temperamental the animal is. It's easy to get a pet dog to play fetch, but getting a wild tiger to play fetch, good luck. Looks like we also have demolitions. And tradecraft. Tradecraft is all the cloak and dagger spy stuff that you see in the movies. It covers a whole host of dirty business, including the following. Recall details about clandestine organizations such as the CIA or the KGB. Know who their agents are and their methods of operation. The knowledge of the best place to conceal bugs and cameras and where to locate them. Knowledge of how to conduct black bag operations. How to successfully tail a subject or to discreetly determine if you're being tailed. So good stuff. I like tradecraft. I think if I were building a Savage Worlds character, I would probably put some points in that because I think that sounds really fun. Yeah. Then we have a content heads up, typical things that you'll probably see in settings like this: intrigue, betrayal, vehicle crashes, accidents, alcohol, kidnapping, vice crimes, theft, religious cults, physical violence, gun violence, murder, explosions, and other adult content. So nothing completely out of the ordinary for this setting, or unexpected, I'd say. Then we have some altered skills. So if you're familiar with Savage Worlds, these are skills included with that text that have been changed up to fit the setting, and those include battle and electronics. For electronics, use common knowledge, popular consumer advices outlined in Savage Worlds for using devices that are less user-friendly or require more skills, such as hardwiring security alarms and detection systems to trick. Okay, cool. And then we have some new hindrances. So hindrances in Savage Worlds are one of my favorite features. I think they help to create some really interesting characters. So with Savage Worlds, your hindrances, oh, hey, thank you so much for the follow assumed question. So in Savage Worlds, your hindrances are things that your character is bad at, or things that hold your character back, or might cause them to fail in certain aspects. They might cause your party to not be able to help you in certain aspects, items like that. But what's fun about them is I feel like they help you create a well-rounded character. You're not just making your person amazing, you're also adding some interesting things that the rules support that make them more complicated. So it looks like a couple of the new hindrances are Adrenaline Junkie, which is minor, and the hindrances are broken up by major and minor. So minor hindrances don't do a lot, major hindrances might do more. So kind of self-explanatory. The Street Wolf has a serious need to speed. Your Street Wolf can't get enough thrills. When in control of a fast vehicle of engaging in some extreme activity like surfing or parachuting, the Street Wolf puts himself at maximum risk in order to chase the rush. So nothing really extremely mechanical there, but a lot of opportunity for roleplay. The other hindrance we have is Boy Scout Major. A Boy Scout follows the letter of the law as much as possible. While this may be a bit difficult for an illegal vigilante, this means they follow Wolfpack's guidance and procedures to a T and have difficulty bending or circumventing procedure or mission parameters. I'm a big fan of RP first, so a lot of my hindrances are that. I can see that. I think this Boy Scout one is really good. It's really fun. Looks like we have a lot of hindrances. So here's a whole nother page of hindrances as well as some great art. The hindrances include Network of Shadows conditioning. So you've been brainwashed by the Network of Shadows. That sounds fun. We've got the computer illiterate. I'm trying to remember what Bubbles had. Forgotten Past. Your Street Wolf suffers from amnesia. That was a good one. That made a great. When we played the Golden Hand, one of the characters had that one, and it made for some great roleplay. Hard to Love, High Score Royalty, Noob. The computer must be cheating because you can't possibly be that bad at games, right? I love this arcade art too. Overbearing relationship. One of your Street Wolves' relationship is overbearing, to put it lightly. They're calling, paging, or stopping by, wanting to know what you're up to. Ooh. This feels like all the things I really liked. Oh, really? I've never played Shadowrun. Renegade, Rookie, Under a Thumb. This Street Wolf is between a rock and a hard place. A powerful individual or group has leverage over them and manipulates them to do their bidding. Unlucky in Love, Vapor Poisoned. So Vapor Poisoned is the setting-specific vapor that we were talking about earlier. The and they get certain powers, I believe. So this is one of the more interesting hindrances. They're all interesting, but this is more like setting specific. So there's a minor version and a major version of this hindrance. The minor version, the character's eyes are extremely sensitive to the light and must wear sunglasses at all times, or suffer a -1 to any trait check. Oh yeah, my cat. Right there. Oh, there's me. I'm actually on this page too. I forgot. There I am. And there's my cat. The minor version of this hindrance, the character's eye. Okay, so we read that. And the major version has the same issues with vision, but suffers from severe pain when their skin is exposed to sunlight. This pain is represented in taking a -1. Pain is represented in taking a -1 to all trait rolls. Oh my gosh, the pain stops when they enter a dark area. So very cool. And then we have even more. about this hindrance. So this hindrance could pair nicely with enemy or wanted, since there's plenty of factions that discover the secrets of vapor. So fun stuff. I think they just help you be better in some aspect, right? So you get a bonus to an ability usually because of the edge. So we have, oh, we got a new street wolf. Welcome in. Chase the ghosts. Congrats on joining the street wolf. We have fame. Oh, these are altered. So these are the ones that are already in there. Assassin, fame, healer, and investigator. And then we have new ones, including cold-hearted. Also, I love this art so much. This person is so spunky. I love them. Into the Groove, which it looks like it also has an improved version. Pop Culture Nerd, which is fun, which comes with some interesting abilities. And then we have Timberwolf Veteran, which comes with a roll table. So Timberwolf Veteran, this street wolf was part of the predecessor of the Wolfpack, Timberwolf. They start at seasoned rank or one rank higher. So in Street Wolves, you don't level up. You have like different ranks. I don't remember all the ranks, but when we look at the archetypes, we can see them. But you don't go level 1, 2, 3. You just go through the. So this one starts at seasoned or one rank higher than the rest of the Street Wolves and get the appropriate number of advances to that rank. The Street Wolf must have a background that would explain why they were in an elite military unit, and they should be at least 30 years old or older. Yeah, that makes sense. So lots of fun role play inspiration here. This roll table is really good too. Like Survivor's Guild. Most Timberwolf operatives died at Blackrock. Your hero has Survivor's Guild and gains the shamed minor hindrance. So fun stuff. More edges. Turncoat. So then we have combat edges, which obviously give you an edge in combat. Dirty Trick sounds really fun. Disarm Expert. Fashion First Combat. Then we have an improved version of that. Gentle Way. Get a Grip. Which means getting a grip on an enemy is a great way into sending them on a guided tour of a world of pain. Pinpoint Strikes. The Street Wolf has trained to hone their stripes to bypass armor and deal damage to exposed areas. Starstorm. Ninjas can throw weapons like a hailstorm of pointy death, and your Street Wolf has unlocked that ability. When using small thrown weapons with damage of strength minus 1d4, such as small knives or throwing stars, the hero can treat them like a weapon with a fire of 2. Very cool, very cool. And then we have some more edges. So lots of edges here that make you, and social edges, a weird edge, arcane background, vapor enhanced, fun. A lot of these edges, again, they have some mechanical benefit as well as roleplay inspiration. So lots of flavor on these pages, and there's pages and pages. So then we have character creation, and this is all in the front loaded in the book, which includes People Love Into the Groove. Let's look at that one then. Rad tunes provide focus for your hero. And thanks to the advances in modern technology like portable cassette, if your hero is listening to their favorite beats, you can draw one extra action card at the start of a round and pick which one you'd like to use. This edge can be combined with other action card edges like level-headed or quick. Unfortunately, while listening to music, all sound-based notice checks are reduced by 1. Players with this edge are encouraged to pick a few songs and put them in the mixtape section of their character sheet. Oh, that's great. That's fun. So to jump into making a street wolf, the first thing you need to do is to come up with a character concept. Ask yourself questions like, who are they? What makes them tick? Don't be afraid to make a character who is flawed in some way. While it may be tempting to create a super heroic and altruistic do-gooder, the world of Street Wolves is made up of shades of gray. Street Wolves is influenced by Synthwave, Outrun, and neo-noir media, which features, the text on my screen is really small. I hope you all can read it. Influenced by which features characters who have dark paths and struggle with their inner demons. A boxer who is haunted by accidentally killing an opponent in the ring. A cop who owes money to the mob. An investigator whose brief act of cowardice during the war resulted in the deaths of fellow soldiers. A private eye who struggles with his addictions. These are all great examples of flawed heroes. So I love that we have some potential characters to work from. That's great. I do admit I'm not the biggest 80s movie fan, so it's nice that there's some inspiration to pull from. But I do think I would need to watch another 80s movie to really nail the character. So then you come up with a code name in addition to your character's name. Each operative has a code name. Your code name can be whatever you want it to be. My code name was Bubbles because I was always blowing bubbles. Then you have your race. All street wolves are humans as per the normal Savage Worlds rules. Humans gain 1 novice edge at character creation. And then you have your hindrances. Because they are flawed characters, they should make sense for your character choice. Then we have derived statistics and edges. So the pace starts, so this is just more like kind of specific character building stuff. So here are your professions. We're only on page 29 of 159, so I am gonna speed through this a little bit faster. So each profession has at least one requirement. Your hero must meet this requirement by the time character creation is finished. Important attributes. These are attributes that will most often be used in the profession. Skill bonuses. So some of the really cool professions include con artist, and with that you get a basic kit and a bag of tricks. You get to choose it helps you choose edges and skill bonuses. You have a requirement of smarts and persuasion. Makes sense. Detective, dog handler, driver. Bubbles, I believe, was a driver. Yes, Bubbles was the driver. It did great. I loved being the driver. It was so much fun. I recommend driver as a profession. It's good stuff. Explosive expert, hacker is also fun. Heavy hitter, martial artist, medic, sniper, thief, trooper. Fun professions. And then the gear kits. The bag of tricks includes a disguise kit, marked cards, 4 fake credit cards. I like the specificity of that. Stolen checks, 5 false IDs. The basic kit has a handheld radio, a pager, a flasher, Glock, backpack. And then we have a brute, demolitions, and dog handler gear. Oh, and it keeps going. So that's great. All of that stuff is super fun. I love that. That definitely helps build up your role-playing opportunities on your character sheet. So you've got the look. Street wolves aren't your boring uniformed cops or soldiers. They're free to express themselves through their own unique style, and operative style choices are defined in game terms as their trademark and tactical styles. These 2 styles help solidify who they are in street wolves, and it serves as a quick way to know what they're wearing and what gear they're carrying most of the time. So I think that's really fun. Trademark style, this is what Street Wolves' iconic look. It's the outfit and accessories they don when appearing on the cover of TV Guide, movie posters, or their action figure likeness. It's the clothing and gear they're wearing when they're on an investigation and don't expect to be involved in a full-out battle. And then tactical style. The tactical style is what an operative is wearing and carrying when they are likely to encounter battle, such as assaulting an enemy or faction. So, very cool stuff. And then we have a note on carrying firearms in public. Game masters are encouraged to keep it a little fast and loose with the weapons laws. However, in the 1980s, it was far less common in most of the US for people to openly carry weapons. Yeah, so I like that. A nice little tidbit. Animal partners. We got so these are some quick archetypes. If you're like, man, I don't know if I want to build a character. I don't know what I'm doing. Just want a character and go. We have some quick archetypes here with their stats already figured out, as well as their specializations. So if you're like, I just want, and their gear, it has everything you need to fill out your character sheet. That's really great, especially if you're like a pop-in player and you don't want to invest a ton of time. You're like, I'll just be a con artist, and then there's everything you need to do to just start playing. It has everything you need. And so we have the con artist, the detective, the driver, the hacker, the martial artist. I think Bubbles was heavily based on the driver archetype, and I really enjoyed it. It's so much easy. Only need to pick hindrances, so which arguably is one of the funnest parts. So, and you also have the trooper, and then we have a note on operative with disabilities. Operatives may be injured, born with, have chronic illnesses, or a genetic condition that results in a disability. Wolfpack will do whatever it can to assist these operatives. This includes issuing prosthetics, cybernetic augmentation, mobility aids, hearing aids, or whatever else is needed to aid the street wolves on the case. This also applies to neurodivergent operatives. Advances in technology allow street wolves to use lightweight, long-lasting, battery-powered devices to get around, including over obstacles that may have been an issue only a few years previously. Also note, the world is different from our own. So there are more lifts, ramps, and more accommodating options, but built into the world of Street Wolves to make it easier for those with disabilities to maneuver. Game masters should be open to players wishing to represent different disabilities in their characters and work with them to come up with thoughtful solutions that don't generate or fetishize those experiences. So, very nice. Love that. And I love this art. This is fun. Love the colors. I love the colors in this. So then we have gear, and oh, the gear is so much fun. Like, the bag phone. My mom had one of these, and it's just funny to me. It's a bag phone. It's a cellular phone that's usually stored or carried in a bag. It needs a separate power supply. So mine was like a car phone, bag phone situation. Like it plugged into the lighter, but it was in a bag. So when she needed it, she would have it unbagged. But then when she was done with it, she'd bag it back up. It was huge. Battering ram, binoculars, cellular telephone, which is great. Disguise kit. I really like that it breaks down there's a paragraph basically for each item. Marked cards, a deck of marked cards allows a gambler to cheat or an illusionist to perform tricks. And then it has what you need to add. Medical kit. Like, who doesn't want this grappling hook gun? Kinetic battering ram. Fun. Pager, hell yeah. Portable cassette player. Spotting scope, a portable telescope. Okay, walkie-talkie. The gun is a little far down, yeah. Walkie-talkies, I need them to make a comeback. I just want to use a walkie-talkie all the time. Like, Josh, wouldn't it be cool if I had a walkie-talkie when I'm hanging out in here and you had a walkie-talkie when you're in the living room, and then we could just walkie-talkie instead of texting when we don't want to yell? I feel like that would be the move. Also, I've heard they're great when you go on cruise ships, that walkie-talkies are the way to go. Anyway, I want this computer on my desk right now. So then we have some more information about computer tech, and we have our armor. Again, this is all clickable, and that's just great. My mom had a pager. I've never had a pager, though. Animal companion body armor, great. Full face Kevlar helmet. Great. So this tells you where you get your bonuses, and that's great, and how much it costs. Melee weapons. We're still in like the player building section, so this is stuff to help the characters, as well as guns. Very fun. I love this. I love this grid in the background. It's just great. There's all these touches that really help sell the setting. Really good stuff. Like the font looks great. More weapons, some great art. Explosives. Grenades. Rocket launchers, hell yeah. We have our range. The damage. I had the cool clear neon yellow pager. I love that. And grenade launcher, hell yeah. Looking great. I love this art so much. This is amazing. Then we're in vehicles. So vehicles that are era appropriate can be found in the Savage Worlds rulebook or other Savage Worlds settings. Vehicles that are more notable or have differences than those found in the Savage Worlds core book are included. Here are some alterations. So we have some vehicle notes: silent, loud, radar resistant. Yeah, you definitely want a radar resistant. Yeah, this is a sick picture. Radar resistant vehicle. ATVs, dual sport motorcycle. Yes, my character had a motorcycle that I never got to ride. R.I.P. Land yacht. Vapor inspired automobiles. So do we need the Savage World? Yes, you do need the Savage Worlds core book. Unfortunately, the Savage Worlds, the publisher, Pegasus, they don't allow you to print the rules separately in supplements. Much like D&D, you can't really print certain things without, you know what I mean. So yeah, to make the most of this setting, you will need the base Savage World rules. Yes. It is inexpensive. I got my copy, I think, for $7 during a sale on DriveThru RPG, so I need to get a physical copy. Vapor-inspired automobiles. I really want to take a look at this. When the vapor aesthetic hits mainstream, corporations get more creative with their products and trade dress. Car manufacturers are into vapor big time, pushing more interesting and wider designs into production. That means that vehicles only existed as prototypes in the real world make it into production in Street Wolves. Vapor-inspired vehicles are on the cutting edge in both style and technology, featuring advanced tech under the hood, which doesn't necessarily reflect in-game mechanics. Most of these vehicles are two-seater sporty coupes, but they are some models that have a backseat to accommodate additional passengers, and there's a few trucks or sport utility vehicles in the mix. It's possible to use a vapor-inspired vehicle as a portable hacking hotspot, since many of them have integrated computer technology that can connect to the nodes found in the parking lots of businesses, like gas stations, fast food joints, and drive-in movies. You simply plug your computer or VR device into the car into the node terminal, and you're online. Usually these nodes have a small fee associated with them per hour, but some are free in an attempt to attract potential customers to the business. And then we have watercraft. So, dope. More vehicle stats. So here's where we talk about the vapor. I'm not going to read this whole section, but this is a huge part of the setting. So in 1982, strange environmental effects appeared in dozens of cities across the world and never went away. At night, beautiful glowing blues, pinks, and purples materialize in the sky and disappear at dawn. Street lamps and neon signs give off an aura-like glow. Moving lights leave trails in the air. During the day, the sun looks a bit unworldly, appearing more orange and red than its normal yellow hue. These effects became known by many names: glow, aura, aurora, but the term that most widely caught on in the Western nations is vapor. What causes vapor? Very little. The public knows very little. The official explanation is industrial sabotage on a massive scale that destroyed the Institute of Future Thinking. The Institute was a research and development think tank that founded dozens of technological research campuses around the world for the purpose of teaching and experimentation. Rumors abound that they were researching teleportation, time travel, or any other unusual scientific advances. In 1982, every technology campus imploded within moments of each other. Oh my gosh, so sorry. Let me reread that. In 1982, every technology campus imploded within moments of each other with a powerful energy surge punctured by the spectacular designs of colored lights. Each campus was completely vaporized along with several blocks radius around them, leaving nothing in their wake but craters. Investigations led to the conclusion that the shadows of New Tomorrow was somehow responsible, but they lacked hard evidence to prove it. The circumstantial evidence was compelling, though. The explosions happened at the exact time. I'm so sorry. I'm in the zone. Oh. But they lacked evidence to prove it. The circumstantial evidence was compelling, though. The explosions happened at the exact time as the Battle of Black Rock Island, which also ended with the Fortress Island being vaporized. I see a little mistake for the next update. The with has an E at the end of it. Vaporized in a very similar manner. Everyone at the heart of the disasters disappeared in the blink of an eye, along with any kind of research or records. So, then there's some secret knowledge. The Institute of Future Thinking was a shell owned by SONT, so that's the Shadows of New Tomorrow. There are two camps of thought on what happened. The SOANT activated some sort of overload in hopes it would be a doomsday device that failed, or it was an intentional act of suicide to keep their secrets hidden. No one, except perhaps the Network Shadow Council, knows for sure. Looking at the other page here, and I'm seeing the truth was that a few years later, a very small percentage of the populace in vapor cities experienced a form of vapor poison, which caused extreme eye sensitivity, and we saw there was a hindrance related to that. The only relief was wearing dark lenses. Other symptoms include dark skin, taking on a paler tone, or hair turning white. These symptoms were written off as caused by anything but vapor, including psychosomatic-induced illness. So the cities have sort of adapted to that. Neon lights, which amplified the effect, were installed everywhere. A new subculture based around vapor aesthetic grew. Art featured heavily saturated vapor colors, synth-driven vapor-themed music shot up the charts, and fashion became part of this new exploding culture. So, the vapor lives on, and it is a thick part of the campaign, or the setting. And then we have vapor enhanced, so that's fun. These... Sorry, I'm distracted by my chat. These are... It looks like we have some vapor-based powers, some vapor edges. Living in the new age, the world of Street Wolves is much like the world of the 1980s, but also has some major departures. This section is here to give more details on not just how it's different from the timeline to the tech, and the people who inhabit the neon-soaked streets. Cool. So we have a... Oh, I love the timeline. I would never study this, but I love, like, reading this type of stuff. Just want to remember it. Like, I didn't do great in history, let's be real. The microchip was invented. 1984, bag phones became available. Get your bag phone. 1987, Wolfpack officially starts operations. I bet there's some really cool... Oh, here we go. 1982, Israel invades Lebanon, beginning of the 1982 Lebanon War, Falklands War between Argentina and Britain, the Lady Liberty disaster in NYC, the Battle of Black Rock Island occurs, research labs belonging to the Institute of Future Thinking simultaneously explode in cities around the world. So 1982 is a big year. Timberwolf is dissolved, the Shadow Council orders its remaining agents to go underground and launches a full-scale disinformation campaign. Premier Germanovich consolidates power by eliminating rivals in the April Purge. Warsaw Pact and China warm relations, and they warm relations and develop a joint task force to share information on the SOANT activities. Soviets begin Operation Colors, breakthroughs in microchip technology, supercharger computers development, first commercial cell phone available. We have then a note on historical bigotry. I love that. Then we have some tech that you might find and what it's usable for and how they work in this setting, so that's really great. That was one thing I struggled with Call of Cthulhu, was we were playing a setting in the 20s, and I was like, I actually don't know a lot about the 20s, so I'm having trouble role-playing this. So I love that this has a lot of stuff you can... Hey! Legitimine, thanks so much for the follow. Welcome in. Feel free to introduce yourself. So I love that there's a lot of stuff to pull from here. Then we have the Wolfpack origins, some history there, which is great. Oh, in the 80s. Yeah, that makes sense. Yeah, run what you know, right? That way you don't have to do a ton of research. I bet the 80s would be a fun setting to run a Call of Cthulhu campaign in. More information about the Wolfpack and how it works. And the Wolfpack is the Street Wolves, how missions work, field support, yeah, how you get paid, the structure, how you join, what the black market is. Oh, you run Delta Green in the 90s. Got some encounter tactics. It's important to remember that the followers aren't some... Oh, so is this about followers? Network of shadows. Ah, right, the enemies. Okay, so the enemies are people you fight, or not necessarily fight, have conflict with throughout. The only real difference between the 20s and 80s is prohibition. Yeah, and then we have the martial arts society, the communist forces. My font is in here. Is it on this? Is this my font? No. On the board. That's right. Oh, it's on the board. Yeah. There it is. This is the Cassie Mothwin font. Initiate Project Moth. Here we go. Look at that. I will not be increasing productivity, though. Infiltrate? I wonder who we're infiltrating. That is an Easter egg. I love that. Thanks, PV. That's so much fun. That's really fun. So I'm in the book. My cat's in the book. There's Project Moth in my font. I'm all over this. So we got communist forces, martial arts societies. Oh my gosh, there's just so much flavor in this. More encounters, criminal syndicates, law enforcement and military. Your local police. You can trust us. I want to read about the local police encounters. Police? Oh. Thank you for the magical moth summon. Chase the ghosts. Thank you. Local police can arrive on the scene when gunshots or other sounds of the battle are reported by concerned citizens. Hacks may get the cops called on them for acting suspicious while leasing locations, trespassing, or other minor crimes. Or they may find the police joining in on the case. And then we have the federal agencies, ghost military. When you hear sirens, that's when you gotta blitz. Material Kid. Material Kid is sort of a character that appears throughout the book. Setting rules. So these are things that make this a little bit more, they separate it from Savage Worlds a little bit. Our D&D setting had CDs and floppy disks as ancient tech. Oh, that's interesting. That's fun. That reminds me a bit of Horizon Zero Dawn. Drive. Street wolves see the worst in the world and know the heinous truth of what is really going on. It can push even the best operatives over the edge. Drive reflects the struggle. Player wildcards use drive points to track how close a street wolf is to becoming corrupt or devolving into a hot-headed maniac. An operative's drive equals 2 plus their spirit die value. So if a hero has a d6 spirit, then their drive is 8. Street wolves can never have more than drive points than this value. So I really like the drive mechanic. I think it's really cool. Cops in the 80s. Oof, talk about Wild West. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. I mean, even now maybe. Losing drive. Street wolves can lose drive during the course of the mission by failing a drive check, which is made by rolling the street wolf spirit value. It's up to the GM to determine what qualifies for making the check, but the following list is recommended. Killing a person, harming civilians, torture, losing a relationship, harming a relationship, spending long hours getting into the mind of a depraved criminal, not attempting to stop an ally from using excessive force, failing to stop an overtly evil act, willingly committing vice crimes, or receiving taunting messages from a serial killer. If the drive check is successful, the street wolf manages to suppress the trauma, or it otherwise has no effect on them. Failure is a loss of -1 drive points and critical failure. That scared me. Welcome to the street pack, Randall. Demon 4x4 is now a street wolf. I said street pack. Welcome to the wolf pack. You're now a street wolf. I'm so happy for you. Congratulations. Pop on your shades. That scared the blitz out of me. Street pack is the off-brand street wolves. It's the kid wolves. It's for your little kid friends. If the drive check is anyway, I really like this mechanic. So failure is, oh my god. Small Town Creepy! Oh my gosh, thank you so much for the Prime sub. The Prime sub sound scares me. That's why I went, oh my god, because I was still recovering from the Street Wolf member joining. Thanks so much. I hope you're having a good time. Really appreciate it. Wow, where was I? Either way, players are encouraged to roleplay out how the loss manifests itself. So running on empty. When a street wolf has 2 drive points, they're barely keeping it together. They're noticeably on edge. Mechanically, this means the street wolf gains the habit minor hindrance, and the player decides what that habit is. When the street wolf regains 3 drive total points or more, they can drop the habit. At 0 drive, a street wolf is in real trouble. See falling off the edge. So this is kind of if you've played, oh god, Walter. Here. I've been working on my southern accent a little bit. Nope, that's not it. God dang it. I'm not good at this one anymore. Oh yeah, we're gonna have really bad weather issues tomorrow. I have to get in the space. I'm so sorry for what is about to come out of my mouth. All right, I think I got a little bit of it. I'm struggling to keep it. I know it doesn't count on mute. I was doing a little bit of practice. I was doing my practice words. I've got a little bit of a southern drawl going on and then a little bit of a hillbilly mix. What we call this accent is a mess. Anyway, so let's take a look here. What on else do we have in here? I don't know why I gotta talk like a Southern belle, but apparently I do. Hey there, comic tropes, welcome in. We are taking a look at Street Wolves. It is a setting for Savage Worlds, a tabletop RPG that features a retro future synthwave setting. We were just looking at Drive, which is like the stress mechanic of this setting. That's really cool. That helps you roleplay a very fantastic special agent that might be falling off the edge from a psychiatric standpoint, as they deal with being a secret agent and has to deal with potentially murder and trauma and all the type of things that come with being an agent. So anyway, welcome in, and I hope you find this interesting. I didn't set my timer for 5 minutes, but anyway. So Drive is a big part of this setting, and I think it's one of the coolest parts of this setting, so I encourage you to check out this setting, if nothing else, for the Drive. So then we have relationships, we've got fear, Leave? What is leave? Downtime between missions is the opportunity for Street Wolves to attempt to live a somewhat normal life. Love that. I love that there's mechanics and guidance for that. That's very cool. Are these things? Oh, these are activities. So these are activities you can do, so you're not constantly going from one mission to another mission. That's great. Well, I'm sure I'll get it from you at some point. So the activities include breaking the law, forming new relationships, helping hand, healing, hobbies, maintaining relationships, making amends, performing, running a business, solo ops. That's great. I love that there is guidance for doing that. That's really fun. Training, therapy. Oh, therapy. That's great. Travel. And then we have a section on hacking, because hacking is a big part of the Street Wolves setting, especially if you're part of a secret operative network like the Street Wolves. Then you probably want to hack into some stuff and learn some secrets. So we have a lot on hacking, actually. That's really cool. File size examples of what kind of disks they would use. That's great. Street Wolves in VR. Once in VR space, users take the form of a digital avatar. In the first person, you can be in a car, in a racing game, or a jet in a fight sim. However, in most systems, like the kind in Street Wolves hack into, avatars are grounded in human locations. That's cool. So here are some rules for playing in VR space. I don't have a lot of info on this, because I haven't played. 5e D&D got rid of all the fun downtime things. They're in Xanathars, kind of. You can find downtime activities in Xanathars, and they're fun. Oh, Rick Stevens PI stopped by. I totally missed you. I totally missed you saying hi. Hey, welcome in. How's it going? But if you're really itching for downtime stuff, I would check out Xanathars. That's what I use whenever I run downtime in 5e. I am itching to look closer at the Street Wolves in VR section. I think that's really cool that there is a cyberspace rules and guidance here on running that, along with, it looks like, yeah, hacking, combat, disconnecting, getting scripts, hacking penalties. That's really cool. Then it also, the VR stuff leans into the 90s VR stuff. Very fun, very fun. And then we have favors, along with a spending favor chart. So that's cool. Street Wolves that are totally fantabulous at their jobs can be rewarded with favors from Wolfpack. When a pack earns favors, they can later pull some strings and cash them in on all kinds of cool and potentially powerful stuff. So that's fun. And then we have suggested favors, or what the cost is. Okay. So let's see what a 1 cost is. A cache of small arms, all right. And then what is a 5 cost? Access to heavy military equipment. Cool. I think that's cool. That there's mechanics for this, as well as recommendations. Very cool. Nice work, PB. Then we have optional rules. Chase tips. Narratively describing a bump. How to deal with bystanders. Boat chases. Very cool. We've got some land complications, as well as a D100 roll table that includes things like potholes, drawbridges rising, turning into an alley, a curb, an angry rock throwing bystander. And then it continues going. So lots of fun tables to add flavor in the moment. And then we have some guidance on how to actually run the game, including how to make a montage, what kind of music to choose, when to use a montage, when to make checks. It looks like a battle section. We still have 60 pages, so I am going through this a little bit faster. We've got some event prompts, a date night. Oh, we have a date night section that includes a bowling alley, restaurant, a hot air balloon. Yes. Ooh, pink floppy disks. Those are cute. We've got some hacking tables. Nothing but a good time. It's time for the street wolves to hang loose and chill out. These montages either take place as a single event or follow the wolves as they travel from location to location. Okay, great. So more ways to build out the setting. Road trip, base stuff, water base, shopping, some training. Cold opens. Another dynamic trick you can rip out of TV shows are cold opens. It opens like this: joggers running through a pack discover a dead body. Then there's a quick cut to the opening title in Street Wolves. A cold open can be used as a hook. That's cool. And then we have guidance on how to run the cold open and how to use it. That's great. Love and romance and social conflict, as well as love interests. Yeah. So I'm gonna flip through the rest of this pretty quickly because I don't want to give away, I don't want to show the whole book. So these are in the adversaries, and then this is the game mastering section where we talk about some fictional locales, as well as weird science. We've got mission generation tables. Those are great. Complications, obstacles. When were you thinking of doing a crowd-funded print run? Oh, of this? That's a question for adventure seeds, more songs, inspiration, movies and TVs to watch, and then Melt with You, which I believe is the adventure. So I'm not gonna flip through the adventure because you should check out the text to get it. But this is, as you can see, this is an extremely robust setting. We didn't take time to read through everything, or else we would be here all day. There is so much in here, lots of stuff. Even if you don't think you're ever going to run this setting specifically, there's still lots of stuff in here worth stealing. There's lots of roll tables. I think there's lots in here to develop a one-shot or even a full campaign. So very, very cool, very neat stuff. I just opened a bar in a world called Mediocrity because the players didn't want to stay in a fancy place or crappy place. But yes, this is, go to page 147. All right, I will. So this is the soundtrack page. We have adventure seeds. What do we want to look at specifically? If there's something that you really want to point out. We've got Kimberly Tiffany. There's some great art. We've got places to get music. People were asking about music and TV suggestions. Oh. And then here's the music and TV. So yeah, if you're like, I don't know what to do, here you go. Lots of good stuff in here. And did you see, this is so great. This is wonderful. And like I said, you get the player's guide as a separate download, so you don't send your players the whole thing. You can just send them the player's guide so they know how to do it. I don't think I can talk my players in a game that doesn't have a physical book. Yeah, I can kind of understand that, but it's pretty easy to build the character. Again, there's me. So if you buy the book, you'll have a picture of me and my cat. So, and then we're gonna look at the archetypes. So this is a character sheet. It's super beautiful. So you have your code name, your pronouns, your profession. So here is your stats. So in D&D, you have a bunch of stats. You just kind of get some as you play. You don't necessarily start with a ton. And when you are good at something, you roll a higher die, and that's what this is. So these represent your skill numbers. Your wounds, your pace, toughness, conviction. You put your hindrances here, your edges here. Oh yeah, this is just so nice. Ammo, so a place to track your ammo, and a place for your weapons. This is really pretty. There is also a printer-friendly version included. I didn't open it, but there is a version. So if you're like, oh god, I don't want digital, there is a printer-friendly version. Don't worry, you're covered. One thing I wanted to point out is there's a place to put your playlist for your character, and it uses my font that I made. So that's another, it doesn't say this, I typed this in there earlier because I wanted to see my font. But Cassie Moth Jams is my playlist. And then we have some more information, or some more space to sort of fill in stuff about your character, including what they wear when it's trait, like just when they're going out, and what they're wearing when they're on a mission. Need the Gatsy Moth Jams playlist. I had to put your font on there invisibly for it to do that. Oh, that's cool. I don't care. That's fine. Place to check your gear, wolf pack, vapor. This is just so good. It looks so good. Vapor edges. That's cool too. And then a place to track your notes. So it's a very cool, very functional character sheet. There's nothing in here that feels overwhelming. I promise it's pretty easy to fill out. So the Street Wolves archetypes. This is another one we're not gonna look at completely because I don't want to give every single archetype away, but I am gonna show sort of how they work. So this is a supplement that you would download additionally because it includes players or characters you can play or characters that you can throw in your game should you want to. Yep, you're already in. Also, OG and Talia are the cats of Table Cat Games. So that's a fun little fun fact. Oh my god, look at that! It's me! I just saw that. Hey, thanks. You're welcome. You're welcome. Yes, hydration finger guns. Like, it's a gun, but like as you're shooting, you're drinking out the back of it. So what is inside the archetypes? As you can see, there are several characters, but what does seasoned, veteran, heroic, and legendary mean? Well, as I said, Savage Worlds does not necessarily have leveling in the traditional sense. You do not go level 1, level 2, level 3. Instead, you usually start out seasoned, and then you go to veteran, heroic, and legendary. So those are your levels. As you get stronger, you may become a veteran, or as you get even more stronger, you might become heroic, and you unlock more edges as you do that. So it's a really cool system. I think it's a lot more fun, and it's more roleplay oriented than maybe a leveling up system with a bunch of numbers. So it's pretty cool. So let's take a look at a few of these. We have a heavy hitter, a martial artist, a hacker, a medic, a detective, an explosive expert, a spy, which we're definitely going to look at, a dog handler, a thief, a con artist, a sniper, another driver. No, we hadn't had a driver yet. A driver, and Daryl the dog. And each of these come with all four of their levels. So you start with their basic level, and then you can see how they might power up all the way through. So what's nice about that is it's one less thing that you have to do if you're using this character as yourself, or if you're using this as an NPC. So let's take a look at the heavy hitter. So this is what the character sheet looks like. Again, I think these are beautiful. They look so good. We have their hindrances, we have their edges, we have their abilities. So when you make a check, you roll a d8, and if you roll a 4, I believe, a 4 or above, you automatically succeed. It's been a while since I played Savage Worlds, so I struggled to remember all the things. The archetypes also come with, the download also comes with like a digital, yeah, most of the time it is 4. Come with, what is the word I'm looking for? VTT tokens. It comes with VTT tokens. So if you run like in Foundry or in Roll20, you'll have character art for all of these people as well, included in the download that are optimized for those virtual tabletop role-playing systems. So this includes hindrances. This system is not D6 based, it's polyhedral based, but this character that we're looking at right now is seasoned. So they're like a level 1 essentially. And so all of these abilities, they can roll a d4. So for survival, they're not super skilled in it, so they can roll a d4. Shooting, they're much better at, so they can roll a d8. Agility, they have a d8 in. Smarts, they have a d6 in. And if they roll a 4, they succeed, or 4 or higher. So obviously a d8 has a better chance of giving you a 4 or higher than a d6 does. So that's how you measure your ability. They also roll a d6 in addition and take the higher of the two. Oh, is that true? I haven't played in a while. So I haven't played I haven't played Savage Worlds in like a year. So I'm a little rusty on some of the rules, and I've only played it a few times. But when you're in it, it feels very, what is the word I'm looking for? Fluid. It feels natural. It doesn't feel complicated. I'm not like, what do I do? Especially since the character sheet, which we looked at, has the dice. So you just put like what level you are in that. So if you're a D4, you put it here. If you're a D6, you put it there, and you just go look at the shape. If you're like me and you like matching shapes, it's really easy to figure out what you're supposed to roll. There's not a ton of addition or anything like that, so it's nice. Unlike other systems where you're adding a modifier, if you're rolling at advantage or I think the flow of play in Savage Worlds, as Chase the Ghost says, is exquisite. So we have hindrances. This includes hindrances and this includes edges. So our heavy hitter has to get edges of brawny, size and toughness +1, strength for higher encumbrance, and minimal strength for carrying gear, and then a trademark weapon. So everything you need for this character is here. You also have, great, fantastic. We'll get you set up. Thanks so much. Let me make sure I have received the email. I got it. So I might not get to you today, but I will get to you within the next couple of days for sure. Probably tomorrow, unless work gets really busy. But we'll get you set up. Thanks so much for entering the giveaway, and I super hope you enjoy it. So now we're looking at the seasoned. You can see right here. Oh wait. So this was novice. I forgot about novice. Was novice on here? Novice isn't on here. This just takes them to the novice. Okay, so there's 5 levels. Novice, seasoned. I thought there was one before seasoned and I couldn't remember. So this is novice. Then there's seasoned, and then it goes up from there. So seasoned is what I played when I played in the Golden Hand, which again you can find the link to on the itch page. It's an actual play. It's a little one-shot that was very fun. So as you can see, they get another edge here and another hindrance. Yeah, nope, not another hindrance. Just we get another edge, and some of these numbers may have gone up. I'm not exactly sure what got leveled up completely, but so this is what happens when they level up. They for sure get that additional edge there. And then at veteran, they have even more edges. Some of these other skills might have leveled up. And then heroic, we got a D10 in shooting now. So when they roll a shooting check, they'll be rolling a D10 as opposed to a D8. So this is how, and then a D12 once they are legendary. So really fun stuff. Oh my gosh, and look at all the edges they got. So you can see how progression works. All of their stuff fits on this one page. Everything. So when we're looking at this character sheet, I think from what I understand, as long as I think you can roll a D4 in everything. You know, I shouldn't say that because I haven't played in a while. Ignore me. Read the rules. Double check. Thanks, Tom. I appreciate it. All right, so let's also look at the character that I helped with. Not a ton, but I helped a little bit. If you're unskilled, you roll D4 -2. Okay, that was right. That's what I thought. I was like, I think you roll a D4, but I think there's something else to it. I'm so thirsty. Been streaming for an hour and a half. It's hit me. This is Cass Peters. My real name isn't Cass Peters, but this is Cass Peters, also known as Foxtail. Foxtail quit the CIA when she discovered her partner was a network agent. She knows that he'll catch up to her eventually, and she'll be ready. So we have our trademark style, a dolman style sweater, high leather pants, granny boots, pistol, tactical style, track jacket, tank top, track pants, sunglasses, lockpicks, pistol. She is a spy, and I love her little martini glass that is by her spy name. Relationships: Ben Martino, ex-partner; Amanda Porter, friend; Matthew Peters, brother; Rosemary Peters, mother. And then we have her stats, and these are her novice stats. She's pretty basic at the novice level, rolling a lot of D4s and D6s. We have a D8 in spirit, which is fun, and performance and persuasion. Hindrances: heroic major. She goes out of her way to help those in need. Enemy major, recurring nemesis, CIA agent, Ben Martino. We love a good enemies to, or lovers to enemies, to maybe lovers, to maybe drama, romance. Yes. I might have missed this, was putting Ken to bed, but what are the numbers next to the relationships? You know, I don't know, actually. What are the numbers next to the relationships? Cable CAD games? I don't know. I should have thought about that. I don't know. Will they or won't they with Cass Peters? Edges, attractive, charismatic, and a face in the crowd. +2 tradecraft to escaping in a crowd. +2 persuasion versus suspicious targets. Those are the level of the relationships. Oh, yes. That makes sense. So the Street Wolves core rulebook. Bookmarks. See, bookmarks, that you can't see them, but they're over here. I was able to navigate to relationships. Oh no, it didn't take me to the relationship section. It took me to the fear page. There we go. Now I'm on the relationships page. So this talks about the level. Here's the levels. So these are need to fix. So this talks about the levels, and you have like a set of levels for your relationships, so that makes sense. So 6 to 9, tightest connections, close friends, family. Lovers fit in this level. Level 0, the relationship is busted. One or both participants want absolutely nothing to do with the other. They could be bitter enemies. Restoring a relationship that reached 0 should be a ginormous effort. Attempts to reestablish it suffer at a -2 penalty. So we have some mechanics on relationships, and that's what this plays into, is that. So yep, explains why Ben is at 0 and Mother is at 7. Brother is struggling. We're not close to Brother. I played a goblin with a 2 in charisma. He tried so hard. My brother is actually doing that right now. He's playing a goblin with very, very bad charisma, can barely speak English. All right, so Cass Peters, when Cass Peters levels up, what do they gain? They gain the command edge as well as double tap, so that's fun. +1 to extra shaken or stunned recovery, +1 to hit and damage when firing no more than ROF 1 per action. And I'm sure that makes sense when you look at the weapons. Relationships obviously don't change. Oh, we also have the specializations, climbing, driving, so that's useful. Veteran, natural leader. Oh, I love that. Dirty tricks. So I wonder what happens. Brother is mid. I wonder what happens between seasoned and veteran that has Cass becoming good at dirty tricks and a natural leader. I mean, that's for you to figure out, right? Specializations is for an optional role, but it helps with roleplay. Yes, I think I remember you telling me that. We have more. We have fervor, extras in range, add +1 to fighting damage rolls. Acrobat. Ah, she's been going to gymnastics between veteran and heroic. All right, let's see. Her skills are going up. That's exciting. This is like really satisfying to look at. Legendary. What did you... Oh my gosh. Look at that. Work the room. Use second die when supporting with performance or persuasion applied to additional ally. Yeah. Dodge. Yeah. So she got really good at her aerobics. Oh. Then we have our gear at the bottom. So these are just really nice. They're really useful if you... Oh. All right. Well. Computer, don't crash again. That was so distressful. Here's another one we're looking at, apparently, is Dock Steady. So you can see the layout doesn't change much. It's mostly the edges and hindrances and then what die you roll when you're doing that check. As you can see, this is 71 pages of stat blocks, essentially, that you can use in Street Wolves as a character or as NPCs. Oh my gosh, I want to look at the dog. That's so fun. The art is great throughout this whole piece, and again, it comes with downloadable VTT tokens that you can use in Foundry or in Roll20 or in Roll or wherever you want to use them. That's so much fun that the dogs are in. So that is Street Wolves Archetypes Volume 1. There are more. The dog is stock with layers. Ah, fair enough. Volume 1 with more volumes to come in the future, and I know there is more Street Wolves stuff on the way as well. That's pretty much everything I have to show you in regards to Street Wolves. Thanks so much, everybody, for stopping by. I hope that you will check out Street Wolves. It is super cool. I gotta get my shirt in. I'm gonna take, yeah. I'm getting ready. Come along. I want to join. I want to join the street wolves. The wolf pack. Yeah. Okay. Thanks, everybody. I appreciate it. Can you tell I was inside all day today and I didn't talk to anybody else? Can you tell I work from home and have no social life?